Render unto Caesar what is Caesar's, said Jesus. Pray for those who govern over you, wrote Paul. Were those blind endorsements of the emperor and Roman rule, despite the fact that the Roman hierarchy worshiped pagan idols and persecuted Christians and Jews? Of course not. In Jesus' case, it was simply an acknowledgement that taxes had to be paid, fair or not, like it or not. But the greater issue was the investment of love and faith and spirit one makes into the will of God. Render unto God what is God's. And for Paul, his words were simply a statement that we pray for those who govern us, even if they, like Nero or Caligula, govern in a less than moral fashion. Why would we do that? Because A, Jesus said to love your enemies and pray for those who despitefully use you. Nero and Caligula would certainly have fallen into that category. But also, B, Paul was convinced that there is a converting power in prayer that has the possibility of turning someone in a new and better direction. Okay, enough about Roman rule. What do these verses say to us? Let me offer two thoughts. First, Jesus and Paul loved Israel. They both agreed it was imperfect. They both agreed there were a plethora of issues, governmental, economic, and spiritual, that needed to be addressed. They both were very vocal about all that. But they were vocal because they loved Israel. Jesus even stood on a hilltop overlooking the holy city and said, Jerusalem, Jerusalem, how many times I would have gathered you under my arms like a mother hen her brood. There is a season to express our love for our nation, even as Jesus and Paul did for theirs. As with them, we are aware that our nation is imperfect, that there are issues of concern, some of them urgent, that there are changes that need to be made, and so we raise our voices, and so we contact our legislators, and so we write our editors. But we also pray for our leaders, that God will guide them, redeem them, often redirect them in a better way. Likewise, we pray for our country, her history, her future, her people. And in this season, we pray as well with thanks. Whatever flaws need attention, ours is still a beautiful land with blessings too many to articulate. There is goodness. There is nobility. There are peace lovers and peacemakers. There is currently a resurgence of interest in church. We pray with devotion to make things better, and also with thanks for the good things that already are. Second, like Jesus and Paul, we maintain our sense of priority. Years ago, there was a phrase you sometimes heard, my country, right or wrong, but still my country. The patriotism was real, but the sentiment was mistaken. As people of faith, we understand that God is first, and God's principles and priorities always take precedence over anything else, including government and including politics. And that faith commitment makes us more patriotic because it makes us more determined to create and keep a nation that is honest and loving and righteous and kind, and the sort of place that will make God proud. I hope on July 4th you join me in celebrating with hot dogs and watermelons and family gatherings and friends and fireworks and pledges of allegiance. But may our first allegiance always be to God and God's will for our nation and our world. If we stay true to that, then our influence can keep this great nation of ours honorable and holy. May God bless America.